There are two youngsters currently taking over football, Lamine Yamal and Désiré Doué. Lamine Yamal has just won every Spanish trophy possible, scoring 43 goals across all competitions at the age of 17. Meanwhile, Désiré Doué won the Champions League with PSG, scoring 2 goals in the final. But who's actually the better player? Today, we are going to find out as I will play out the Lamine Yamal and Désiré Doué rivalry to determine who the better player is and who can truly become the best in the world. But wait, here's the twist. The first person to win 3 major trophies and 3 Ballon d'Ors will be crowned as the better player. So with all of that in mind, it all begins in the 2026 season, in which Doué has a head start in the rivalry as he is already a Champions League winner from the 2025 season. And looking to continue his momentum from the previous year, Doué dribbled his way to another great individual season, netting 17 goals and providing 14 assists, in which one of the goals came in the 90th minute of the French Cup, helping his PSG side conquer France once again this year. But if we shift our focus to Yamal, he had much more to play for as he is already behind in the rivalry, and this only motivated Yamal to have an even better year than he did last season, which is crazy to think about considering the fact that he was getting Ballon d'Or shouts at the age of 17. End of the season, and the first thing I noticed, Yamal's overall is up to an 86, and he scored 21 goals and provided 10 assists. But let's go ahead and check the Champions League because that's the most important trophy in this video, and PSG finished 2nd in the league phase, and Barcelona finished 9th in the league phase, and then in the playoffs they beat Lille 6-1 aggregate. But now in the round of 16 they lost to Bayern Munich, but PSG also won against Stuttgart 6-2 aggregate. And then let's check the quarterfinals for PSG, and they actually beat Atalanta 2-3 aggregate. And then in the semifinals they lost against Bayern Leverkusen 6-4. Oh my gosh, there's gonna be no Champions League for either Yamal or Doué this season. Although there isn't gonna be Champions League success this season, football is not over for the year, because as we all know, the 2026 World Cup has arrived, and the stakes are high for both players, because if Doué secures the World Cup trophy, he will have 2 major trophies to his name at the age of 21, while if Yamal wins the World Cup, he can possibly take the lead in the rivalry after having a great individual season. The 2026 World Cup has been fully simulated, and Lamine Yamal finished as the 2nd top scorer with 6 goals and 7 appearances. Let's go and scroll down to see if Doué is in here at any moment, and it looks like he's not even a top scorer of the tournament. But hold on now, France finished at the top of their group with 9 points, and Spain finished 2nd in their group with 6 points. But it all matters in the knockout rounds, and France actually lost in the round of 32 to Denmark. What happened? Okay, let's go and check out Spain, how they did in the round of 32, and they beat Ivory Coast 3-0. And then in the round of 16, they beat Hungary 2-1. And then in the quarterfinals, they beat Portugal 2-1. And then in the semifinals, they beat Brazil 3-0. And then they're in the World Cup final versus Canada. Yo, how did Canada make it to the World Cup final? But hey, if Lamine Yamal wins the World Cup, he can definitely win this year's Ballon d'Or. And it was Spain who had the first couple of attacks in this World Cup final. Nico Williams finds some space. Nico Williams shoots, but it's a good save by Canada's keeper. Ball played out wide to Williams. Williams back inside to Morata. Morata has space. Morata shoots to share the keeper, but he has the rebound and he scores to make it 1-0 to Spain in the World Cup final. Literally, right after Spain scored, Canada formulated their first attack. Now we have Canada on the attack. They slip it in, and they just made it 1-1 just like that. Seconds later, right after Spain scored, Canada make it 1-1 very quickly. We have Canada on the attack right after they just scored. They have it still. They pass it to David. David shoots it, and it's just wide. Entering the second half with the match squared up, Canada actually had control over the final, but they couldn't finish. Canada is putting up some pressure, but they can't finish. And on top of that, all Spain needed was a clear side on goal. Morata has it. Plays Nico Williams. Nico Williams 2-1 in the 79th minute. This is crazy. Canada were dominating the whole World Cup final, but now Spain have the lead at 2-1 with only 10 minutes remaining. Canada had one last attack, but Spain ended up defending it, meaning the World Cup final came to an end. And that is it. Canada could not string together any attacks, and Spain have won the 2026 World Cup, which means Lamine Yamal has won his first ever World Cup title. After winning the World Cup at the age of 19, Lamine Yamal is officially the best player in the world, winning his first Ballon d'Or, making him the youngest player ever to do so. Things just got a little bit intense, because if we do a trophy check, Yamal now has 1 major trophy in the World Cup, and now he has 1 Ballon d'Or, and now Doué is trailing in the rivalry as he only has 1 Champions League title to his name. As you just heard, Doué has some work to do in the next season as he is now trailing in the rivalry. However, it's going to be tough because while he can stat pad league success, regaining Champions League success like they did in 2025 is going to be much harder, especially due to the fact that 2027 was the year Real Madrid found their way back to the top of Europe as they not only clean sweep Spain domestically, but also knocked out Barcelona in the round of 16 and PSG in the semifinals of the UCL to go on to win their 16th title and club club history, and most importantly, Mbappe's first title, as he was the standout player this season with 44 goals across all competitions, which led him to finally winning his first Ballon d'Or. So as of right now, Lamine Yamal is still in the lead of the rivalry. However, everything could shift in the 2028 season as the competition would be limited, because with Yamal picking up an injury midway through the club season, keeping him out for Barcelona's UCL campaign, that means there is less competition across Europe, because the only player Doué now has to compete against is his international teammate Mbappe, and it is safe to say Doué was ready for the competition. End of the 2028 season, and Doué is now up to an 88 overall, and he scored 33 goals and provided 7 assists. This guy just went crazy. But let's check the Champions League, because we're counting major trophies, and PSG finished 5th in the league phase, and in the round of 16 they beat Wolfsburg, in the quarters they beat Chelsea, in the semi-final they beat Liverpool. Now they're in the Champions League final facing off against Manchester City. If you made it this far into the video, 97% of people who watch me are not subscribed, so if you're one of them, make sure you hit that subscribe button. In the 17th minute of this Champions League final is when we would see the first attack. PSG are now on attack. It's Kvaratskhelia with some space in front of him. What is he going to do? Is he going to cut it back? He cuts it back. Now Dembele, and Dembele 1-0 to PSG. It's literally the 17th minute, and it's now 1-0 to PSG. Doué on the ball now, 21st minute, right after PSG scored. He's going to look to go inside. Now João Neves, and PSG 2-0. What is going on? What is actually going on? This is complete domination by PSG. Vitinha makes it 2-0 now. I actually don't know how Man City made it to the UCL final, because they were getting killed by PSG. We're looking for the first attack in the second half, and Kvaratskhelia hits the crossbar. And on top of that, Man City only had 1 shot on goal for the whole match. Dude, that's their first attack, and it's the 76th minute. Man City are trash. And with the final in his dying moments, PSG were looking to add the nail in the coffin. Doué on the ball in the 86th minute. PSG have a 2-0 lead, but he plays Dembele through. Doué could get an assist in the Champions League final. Dembele finishes it up to make it 3-0. It's over, man. That's practically over. PSG have won the Champions League final. And like I said, that's the final whistle right there. A pretty boring Champions League final, but it does not matter, because PSG have won the 2028 Champions League final, and Désiré Doué is now a 2-time Champions League winner. Although Doué now has 2 Champions League titles in his cabinet, there's still a chance that Yamal can bounce back, because the summer of 2028 hosts the Euros, and the previous World Cup winners enters as favorites to win the tournament, especially because Lamine Yamal recovered from his injury, scoring in every match possible, leading his nation to the Euro Cup final versus England. And after 120 minutes, neither team could be separated, meaning penalties were needed to decide a winner. Euro 2028 has made it to a penalty shootout, and Harry Kane shoots a good penalty for his first penalty. Now Lamine Yamal steps up for Spain, and it's saved. Oh my god. Okay, Bukayo Saka for England. What the heck just happened? Oh, the keeper didn't dive. Okay, England have the advantage at 2-0 right now. Now it's Vivian. What is Vivian gonna do? And he shoots it. What is going on with Spain? Yo, what is happening? Jude Bellingham with a good penalty. It's 3-0 to England. No, what is actually going on right now? Dude, Spain are about to choke the Euro 2028 that bad. They pushed it to extra time, and they're about to choke. Fabian Ruiz steps up for the penalty, and that's a good penalty. He finally makes one for Spain, but it could possibly be over right here if Declan Rice slots his penalty. Declan Rice steps up for England with a 3-1 lead. All he has to do is make his penalty, and it's over. What the heck just happened to Spain? They just choked the Euro 2028 just like that? As England went on to win the Euros, this completely hurt Yamal's chances for making a push for the Ballon d'Or, because in the end, Doué had a better season individually, as he went on to claim the 2028 Ballon d'Or. Alright, if we do a quick trophy check, Doué has 2 UCL titles and 1 Ballon d'Or, while Yamal has 1 World Cup title and 1 Ballon d'Or. So as of right now, Doué has taken the lead. As you just heard, Doué has the lead in the rivalry, and he can either extend that lead or lose it, because if we go 2 years into the future and skip past some struggle years at the club level, it is now a World Cup year. This time though, both Spain and France enters as favorites to win the tournament due to them having the 2 best players in the world. So it is no surprise that both nations ended up topping their group with their star players leading the lines, as well as going undefeated in all of the knockout rounds, so that we could see the first ever Yamal versus Doué showdown in a final, with the stakes being higher than ever. If Doué wins, he extends his lead even further, but if Yamal wins, he could take the lead in the rivalry. Ball played inside to Doué. Doué has a lot of space in front of him. He cuts it back. Dembele! Oh, that was close to being 1-0. Oh my gosh! Nico Williams is using his pace right now. Nico Williams. What the? Can he go all the way? Oh my gosh, Nico Williams almost just went all the way. This World Cup final was back and forth, but it was France who ended up having the best side on goal. Dembele plays in Zaire Emery. Zaire Emery shoots it, but he shot it straight at the keeper. That was the best chance yet. The match practically remained 0-0 as both teams kept shooting shots, but in the 65th minute, Mbappe was on a breakaway. Oh my God, Mbappe just took a crazy run. What is he doing? What the? Why would he do that? What is going on? They don't want to score. Let's just say Mbappe's dumb decision led to this happening. Still waiting on a goal here. Nico Williams to Dani Olmo to Lamine Yamal. Lamine Yamal makes it 1-0 to Spain in the 78th minute. Yo, if these results stand, Spain could win the World Cup final. I'm not gonna lie, it's not over yet because Spain found a way to formulate one last attack. Spain possibly on one last attack. Pedri. Now Nico Williams. Nico Williams 2-0. It's practically over. France just lost the World Cup final. And Spain are now officially champions of the world. And Lamine Yamal has won his second World Cup title. Sadly, only one team can come out on top and win the ultimate prize. And that was Spain. But most importantly, Lamine Yamal, as he now won his second World Cup title. And of course, his second Ballon d'Or, putting him ahead of Doué in the rivalry. Things are getting intense. Yamal has taken the lead with 2 World Cup titles and 2 Ballon d'Ors, while Doué is trailing with 2 UCL titles and 1 Ballon d'Or. So right now, everything is in Yamal's favor. This rivalry is starting to ramp up a lot, and if we enter the next season, it only got more intense because Champions League success was not going to be in cards for either team. This is because Doué's PSG were knocked out by Liverpool in the round of 16, and Yamal's Barcelona were knocked out in the playoffs by Manchester City. However, if we look past team success and see how the 2 best players in the world did individually, it would still be a close race for the Ballon d'Or because Yamal ended up netting 43 goals and assisting 17, but he was not able to win anything domestically. On the other hand though, Doué netted 39 goals and dished out 14 assists, once again winning everything for PSG domestically, which actually ended up giving him the edge for the 2031 Ballon d'Or as he took the stage to level up the rivalry. Now as we enter the next season, keep the trophy counts in mind. Doué has 2 UCL titles and 2 Ballon d'Ors, while Yamal has 2 World Cup trophies and 2 Ballon d'Ors, meaning this current year is a big one for both superstars. Fueled by their rivalry, we saw Yamal have his best goal scoring season, netting 47 goals across all comps and winning the La Liga title and Copa del Rey. But if we shift our focus to Doué, he was also pushing a 40 goal plus season while also winning everything on the domestic side of France, resulting in the Ballon d'Or rankings being equal for the 2 players. And the only way to settle the rivalry once and for all would be in the Champions League final, as it was a Barcelona versus PSG showdown in the final. So to prove once and for all who the better player is, one of them needs to come out victorious. Doué sends in Gyökeres. Gyökeres is free. He has Doué for the cutback, but he decides not to use it and he decides to shoot it. Oh, that could have been a goal right away. That could have been a goal in the 6th minute. Now it's Lamine Yamal out wide. He goes inside to Dani Olmo, but Alexander Isak's there for the rebound, but Donnarumma makes a great save. Although Barcelona responded with an attack of their own, PSG had all the momentum. Dembele now with it. Now to Gyökeres. Gyökeres takes a touch forward, and he splits the Barcelona's defense, and he shoots. What the heck is going on with PSG? I feel like they're bound to score now. Let's just say that statement was completely wrong because the corner kick led to an attack for Barcelona. Lamine Yamal has been played out wide. Now inside to Pedri. Pedri to Isak. Isak just needs to finish, and he does. It's 1-0 to Barcelona. We are now 25 minutes in, and Barcelona have a 1-0 lead. PSG on the attack right after Barcelona scored. Vitinha shoots, but it's straight at the keeper. Yo, this keeper is keeping Barcelona in it. Just as I said that, the next possession, you wouldn't believe what happened. That's a mistake. That's a mistake, but he hit the post. But what is going on? What the heck just happened? Doué finishes it though, but PSG somehow force a mistake, and Doué cleans it up to make it 1-1. Entering the second half, Barcelona turned it up a lot, but we're struggling to get past Donnarumma. Oh, that's a bad mistake. Dani almost threw a goal. Dani almost shoots it, but Donnarumma with another crazy save. This guy Donnarumma is cracked. And this finally led to PSG getting their first attack of the second half. Oh, that's a good ball into Gyökeres. Gyökeres can make it 2-1. Oh my God, what a save. What a save. As you just saw, Barcelona's goalkeeper was making crazy saves too as the second half turned on its head and PSG took control. But then all of a sudden, a kid named Lamine Yamal was through on goal. De Jong just played at Lamine Yamal. Lamine Yamal shoots it, but he skied it. That was his moment and he choked. This was Lamine Yamal's moment to put the game away, but he choked choked it right over the bar. Luckily for Yamal, although he choked, Barcelona would have one more chance, and it was their best one yet in the 90th minute. Oh, that's a great ball. Isak is through, and he fouled. He's fouled. Oh my God, he's fouled. He was through on goal, and Pacho had to do what he had to do. You have to just respect it. And it's gonna be Rafinha who steps up in the 90th minute, and it's saved. Donnarumma just made a crazy save. Dude, that is insane. Donnarumma just saved the game for PSG. Now we're headed into extra time. In the extra time period, there were two chances. One where Doué missed terribly. Doué really just missed this great opportunity. That's crazy. And the other one was none other than Donnarumma coming up big once again. Dude, what is actually going on? Dude, nobody can finish a chance. After an insane Champions League final, the score is still level, so we all know what that means. We need a penalty shootout. A penalty shootout. This is for anyone to take, honestly, and Isak steps up with a great penalty of his own. Now we have Vitinha stepping up, and he goes straight down the middle, and Barcelona's keeper saved it. Now it's Lamine Yamal. Oh my gosh, okay, Barcelona have an advantage at 2-0 right now. Okay, Désiré Doué steps up right now. What is gonna happen here? What is going on with PSG? They're gonna choke. They're actually gonna choke. Rafinha with a good penalty. He actually makes his this time. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. Barcelona have the lead at 3-0. What kind of penalty shootout are we gonna watch? Gyökeres steps up for his penalty. What are we gonna see here? Gyökeres with a good penalty. I thought he missed. I really thought he missed. But now it's gonna be Dani Olmo who steps up. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be crazy. This is gonna be crazy. Dani Olmo steps up, and it's over. This Champions League final is over. Barcelona took the penalty shootout. Yo, that is actually crazy. Lamine Yamal has won his first UCL title, and he's officially ended the rivalry. I'm not gonna lie, this is a crazy way to end off the video. Let me know in the comment section who's better, Lamine Yamal or Désiré Doué. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're so close to 100,000 subscribers. And if you like videos like these, you'll love this one where I save Neymar's legacy.